Doug and Jim from Metricks. We're going to show you guys how to put on our Aero splitters. It's a 6-piece package, and let's get started. Jim?
Okay, I'm going to go over the tools you'll need to put this system on. First, you're going to need a drill, a ruler, a 4mm Allen, a number 40 Torx bit. You can use a socket Torx bit if you like. A 10 and a 12mm open-end box wrenches. I'm using the gear wrenches. You can use something similar. I've got a socket here, a 10 and an 8mm socket. A flat blade, small flat blade screwdriver, regular Phillips head. You're going to need 3 drill bits. 1/8 for drilling pilot holes. 1/4 inch for the little bit larger holes, and then a 13/64 for the adjustment. So that, you need a roll of tape and a marker. Okay, let's get started. First, we're going to show you, as part of the kit, we're going to show you how to install the underneath front splitter piece that goes right here. Okay, you're going to need to drill, mark and drill 2 holes for this.
This piece is already going to come drilled, right, Jim?
Yes, this is already pre-drilled, and all the holes are going to be spaced the same, so your spacing up here is going to be equal to this. This is a pretty easy install, this piece alone. So I like to start with a 1/8 inch drill bit to drill a pilot hole. And what I've already done here is I've taken a piece of tape on this first indent here and this third one here, about 1 inch in. To get the alignment for the front piece, it's fairly easy. You're going to mark 1 inch from this edge, and there is an edge here on the slingshot, and you want to be at a 90-degree angle from that edge. So you want to put a line through here at 1 inch, and then to get your distance, it's going to be roughly centered. The gap here is about 3.5 inches. So I'm going to come at 1 3/4 inch and drill my hole. For the one out here, you want to do the same. You want to go 1 inch at a 90-degree angle from this line and mark a line. And from this first hole, you're going to come over 9.5 inches. 9.5 inches will give you the correct distance here. And this right here, you can see, if we line it up, is 9.5 inches. Okay, since we've already done this slingshot, I am just going to go through the motions of drilling the holes, because our holes are already pre-drilled. But usually I would just take this 1/8, drill through, and then I'm going to go to the 1/4 inch bit and finish drilling my holes. And that's it for the first 2 holes. You can pull the tape off. Okay, in the kit are 2 long stainless steel 6mm long Phillips head screws. I'm going to put one through here with a cap. We supply the plastic cap to cover up the screw for the splitter. Okay? These actually will go in through here. We also supply these spacers. They're just a couple inches long. And we'll put a spacer up here.
What are those made of?
These are aluminum spacers.
So they won't
so
rust.
You're not going to have anything rusting. All the bolts we supplied are stainless steel, and all the hardware we supply are stainless steel to keep them from rusting. So you'll put a washer and one of the 6mm nuts on the bottom. Got that one in there. This down. That through. Washer. And all you need to tighten this up, Phillips screwdriver, 10mm socket. And you want to snug these down pretty good, but you don't really need to over tighten them. We give you lock nuts, so the lock nuts will stay fairly secure. So I'm going to tighten this front one down. There you go. And these caps on our model are not attached, but these are attached as one piece, and you just put them in for a nice clean look. And you can take a look at that. That thing is secure, it's not going anywhere, and it gives it a really cool look.
That looks great.
Okay, so that's easy. The back is a little bit more complicated. So we're going to have to start by taking the battery cover off. You'll need your Torx bit. Now I've already loosened these, so I can pull these out on ours. But you'll need to loosen these up. Then there's two Torx bolts that need to come out. And you'll take a flat blade screwdriver, and you have these little push pins on the Polaris. And if you take kind of a small flat blade screwdriver, there's a little notch here, you can get behind them. And you can pull that center pin out. And then you can pull this piece out. They're just plastic push pins, and they will pop right back in there after you're done. Okay, so we have those pulled out. So those are the only four things securing this piece in. And you just have to give this thing a little bit of a wiggle, and it's right here. There's a little notch, so you got to kind of pull it out of there. So you'll take that piece completely out.
Why are we taking the battery box off?
Well, we take the battery box off because there is one securing point that's behind the battery box that we need to get to, and it's the only one that's slightly difficult. The other reason is to make sure we get the proper alignment on this whole system, is to make sure we have a clean line to put our template on. And this, with the battery cover off, it gives us a nice clean line here and a clean line here to judge exactly where to drill the holes. And if you're drilling holes in a brand new Slingshot, you know, it can be a little unnerving. That's why we're giving you a template to make sure you have proper alignment and you can drill the holes right the first time. And there's very little measuring involved. Most of the holes are just lined up on our templates.
So the template comes with the kit?
Well, template comes, there's 4 templates. There's a triangle template, and then you'll have another funny shaped template that goes down here. There's 2 templates for each side. 2 for the driver's side and then 2 for the passenger side. You first need to start with this template that's the triangle shape. And we're going to...
Are those arrows?
Okay, now if you look at this template, we mark it driver's side. We also mark the hole size that you'll be drilling in each one of these holes. In this template, there's 2 13/64 holes and a 1/4 inch hole. There's also arrows on this triangle to let you know which direction to line this up. So to line this template up, you need to notice this corner right here. That's your starting point to line up the template. So you want to take this corner with the arrows facing forward and put it in this corner. Okay? And you just want that template to run exactly up against the body line right here. Okay? And down here on this body line, you should line up right on that body line at the bottom. Okay? So if you stick this down, it should line up here and down here. And that will give you the alignment on your holes. Now this paper is pretty easy to work with. It won't stick too much. You can pull it off and put it down, but if you can put it down nice and even, or don't get it right the first time, just kind of pull it off and put it back down there. So I've got it on here, and I have got my hole alignment here. This hole, and this hole, and these are the 3 holes. You need to drill these holes first before putting this front template on to get the proper alignment on this template. So basically do the same thing here. Use the 1/8 inch bit, drill through here, and then drill through here. Okay? You'll have those 3, right here, here, and here. Then you have your 2 other size drill bits. You have your 1/4 inch. Put the 1/4 inch drill bit in. Drill through your bottom hole here, 1/4 inch. And then your 13/64 drill bit. We'll drill through the top here. And then it'll drill through there.
Why are they different size holes?
The holes, there's 2 different size bolts that go in those holes. One's a 5mm and one's a 6mm, and the 6mm is the bigger hole and the 5mm is the smaller hole.
And
okay,
so the 1/4 inch is going to be for for the heim joint that the plate mounts to.
Yes.
Okay. And the smaller holes are for the adjustable struts, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So that's it. You have 3 holes in here now in the body. And you are done with that template. Okay. The first piece you need to line up is the top splitter. This top splitter has 1 strut on it. Okay?
Is the strut going to come on it?
Yes.
The strut won't come on it, but the heim joints will come pre-mounted.
The heim joints will come on it. The struts you will have to mount on here.
Okay, that's easy enough.
Okay, they're easy enough. And these struts are adjustable, so you will have to adjust the struts to get the right angle to make it look symmetrical.
Okay.
Okay, so we have this one. You mount a strut, a single strut, onto your splitter, and you'll have 1 heim joint here and 1 heim joint here. This bottom heim joint you don't want to tighten up. You want it kind of loose because you need to be able to put this up against the body to align it. This one you can bolt in. So this goes in like that into the 1/4 inch hole, and this goes into the 13/64 inch hole. Okay? And you want to put the hardware on the back side.
So we're only using 2 of the holes of the 3 that we drilled to start.
So,
and those holes, where did you drill into?
this is where they come out.
So they just go into the storage compartment.
Go into back here into the storage compartment. And your top one, you put the washer on there, and the 5mm nut on the top.
That's all stainless steel with a nylon.
And another washer with a 6mm nut on the bottom.
Make sure you don't have anything in your storage before you start drilling too. You hate to drill into a helmet or some other goodies you might have back there.
Okay, so I am just going to snug those down so we can get proper alignment on the whole thing.
Not all the way tight, just tighten them up to take up some of the slack.
Yeah, for now we can just kind of snug them up, and you can tighten everything up down when you have it all in there. Okay, I just have to have that in there enough to get this next step. So this next step is pretty important because this hole is the only hole that it does not use a template, okay? But it does use an alignment mark on the splitter. So what you want to do is take a piece of tape, a couple inches long, and you want to place the splitter so it's even and flat with the top of this line up here. Right at the end of the curve, but up here. Hold that there. You'll see a notch that is marked right in front of the screw hole on your splitter. That is the alignment mark for drilling the next hole. So I am going to take a piece of tape and put it on there, and you want to put it just on the top side of your splitter, and where that notch is, you want to mark on that piece of tape. Okay? Now that you have that done, we'll have to go back and loosen up this mount so we can drill that next hole. And if you take just the top one off here, you can kind of swing that thing down. Okay. The other thing you want to do is take another piece of tape, like this, and come vertically down from your mark right here. Now, like I said, this is fairly crucial as to where this goes because this sets up the alignment of the other splitter. So you'll come down and take a ruler, and you're going to be pretty much vertical to the ground on this. And we have ours jacked up a little bit, so it's a little deceiving. So I'm going to have to tilt this back, but you want that thing, if your slingshot is sitting flat on the ground, it's going to be a vertical line down.
Do you have to jack it up?
No, you don't. We like to jack it up just because it makes it easier to work in this whole area. And you can get to everything much easier.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is just come down vertically 1 inch and mark my hole. Okay? now that I've got my hole marked, I'm going to take the 1/8 inch bit and drill my pilot hole. Then I'm going to take my 1/4 inch bit and drill my hole. And that next hole is crucial to lining up everything else. Okay? So now that you have that hole drilled, you can pull the tape off. Now, to get the other 3 holes aligned, you're going to take your template for the driver's side, and it's the funny looking shaped template that comes with our kit. It looks like that. These arrows are pointing out this curve. Okay? And you're going to need to stick something through this hole to align it. You can take from the back side, that hole you drilled, you can take a screwdriver or anything that will stick through that hole. It will help with the alignment. Now it's the top 1/4 inch hole. I put a little arrow right next to it so you can see where it is. But you want to put that hole over your screwdriver or whatever you put in there to line it up. And you want to line up this edge right here, and when this goes around, it should line up all the way perfectly around. Okay? And you can stick that down. The hole that aligns it is there, and you'll just kind of work this down a little bit. Try to make sure it's as flat as possible, just to get the best alignment on here. Okay? And then you'll have that on there, and you'll have 1, 2, 3 more holes to drill that are on your template. Okay? So, same thing. Take your 1/8 inch, drill here, drill here, drill here with the 1/8. Take your 1/4 inch drill bit, drill your 2 bottom holes, right? Take your 13/64 drill bit and drill this hole right here. Okay?
That
is it. If you follow the instructions and lay these templates on there and take your time, you should have everything aligned just the way you want. And everything will line up and bolt on nicely. So now we have all our holes drilled. Take this template off.
Do we have to save the template?
You don't really need to save the template, but
there is a set of templates for each side, right?
Yeah, and they are going to be marked driver's side and passenger side.
Easy enough.
So they're identical, they're just flip-flopped. Okay? So whatever process we're doing here, you're going to follow and just do the same thing on the other side. So we've drilled all our holes. Okay? So now you can take this front mounting point and put it through the top hole.
Well, this one will have a mark, won't it?
Yes, that's the one with the mark, and the reason we put the mark there is to get the alignment of this first hole, so the template fits on there perfect, so these other holes all match up to where they're supposed to be.
Okay, great.
Okay, so I'm going to take another 6mm nut and washer, and you can come inside the body right here, pretty easy, and put that nut on. Just for now and for time's sake, I'm not going to tighten everything down, but I am going to put it on there just to show you how that first one lines up. Okay? So this is your second splitter. The only complicated piece to put on that's a little tricky but not too bad is the back swivel. Okay, so this one is not mounted to the splitter because it's easier to get the nut behind it and screw this into the nut. You have a main support bar that is kind of, you know, right behind where this hole is drilled. So that's another thing when you're drilling these holes, just to make sure, don't drill in too hard. I mean, you'll hit the metal bar, it's not going to hurt anything, but you do have a metal bar back there. So to mount this in here, it can be a little tricky. So what we're going to do is I am going to reach my hand in there and put this in, and then you can get your hand in there and get the washer on, and then you get the nut on. And this could be a little tough because you just gotta kind of fish it in there. But if you can get it in there, you can kind of turn this nut and kind of get it started. And once you get it started, it's pretty easy. Okay? Once you get it started, all you have to do is take a 10mm wrench to hold the back nut, and then 12mm to tighten it. You want to snug this down pretty good. You don't need to over tighten these things at all. They have lock nuts on them and there is a rubber washer, so just till that kind of rubber washer crushes down and it's snug. Okay, and that's going to give you your mounting point for the rear of this splitter. So I'm going to take this. Now you're going to have to, there's two arms on this bottom splitter, and you'll have to take the two arms and mount them to the bottom splitter. Okay, and you can see on the bottom of the splitter there's a nut and a washer that you'll put on there to mount these. And these are adjustable, like we said. They'll probably be adjusted within range to be okay, but if you loosen this nut and this nut, you can adjust these to get the angle right. Okay. So
I'll put this one in for you.
You can set this front hole. This one will already be mounted, and you can push that through pretty easy through the hole. And then all you have to do is get this one lined up and put the powder coated Allen head screw in there. And you'll take your 4mm Allen head and you can snug this one down. Okay, that one's snugged down. You can also take these, and there's the two holes up there, and you can kind of get that held in. If this pops out, it's not that big of a deal. You just need the hardware, 6mm.
That's for the Heim joint.
To get this front mount, and you just, on this one,
Easy for the straps.
you're gonna have to just reach inside the body here, and you can put this 6mm nut on the back side of here. And then 5mm nuts. One is inside the body here, just below the other mount. And the last one,
Right there. These are the two.
and the last one is inside your storage compartment at the bottom. And there. those are all the nuts. And what
The
I'll
bolts
do,
are cut short enough too, so you don't have to worry about them snagging on anything inside even after they've been tightened up.
okay, so you can take the 5mm nuts, tighten those down. Like I said, just snug all this stuff down. No need to over tighten it. If you over tighten it, it's just going to, you know, distort the plastic. And with the lock nuts, it'll stay securely on here with just being snugged down.
That's it.
So I'm just snugging everything down now. And after we get this snugged down, we'll show you how to adjust the splitters if you need to adjust the splitters. You may or may not have to, or your just preference of whether you want them pointed up or pointed down. I'll snug up.
Some of you may choose the painted option. If you don't, this is what you're gonna get. It matches the body perfectly. It's got that textured look. This is what a front one looks like. And this is what your backs will look like. And that's still a great look. Painted seems to stand out for us on this bike. It's a few more dollars than just getting them in black, but if you got a custom painted Slingshot and you're gonna buy the splitters, what we do is we just flip them, and this is the smooth side is the side that we prep and we paint. A little adhesion promoter, some primer to get it fit. It does take quite a bit of body work to get them painted, so you know, if you're thinking you're gonna save money and paint them yourself, you're better off just having us do it, because it is quite a bit of work to get them painted. That is a $250 upgrade. The paint is expensive, and it does take quite a bit of time to prep these and make them stick. And we're even having a problem with static electricity collecting dust, so it is quite an intensive process to get these guys painted. Just to give you the heads up, if you got a custom colored one, I mean, we can't really help you with there. You know, we can do a little bit of body work for you and get them primed, but you know, either way, we got you covered.
So that's it. They're mounted. You just need to take your battery cover, put it back, and secure it to the vehicle. Pretty easy to put back in. Put the pins back in, push them back in, and put your 2 bolts back in.
So is the other side going to be the same?
The other side, you can walk over here. We've already got these installed on the other side. The other side is a mirror image of that side. And so you just have to do everything but kind of in reverse on this side to mount, you know, everything where you want it.
Same.
There is a panel here that's similar to the battery panel on the other side that needs to come off.
So same process. We can just watch the